Welcome to Get the Facts, the show that gives you information on the latest topics. I'm Theodore Henry. As we continue through the summer holiday, ensuring our children are safe, whether at home, on the road, online, or in recreational spaces, is more important than ever. Today we're joined by Dr. Warren Thompson, Director of Children and Family Programs at the Child Protection and Family Services Agency, CPFSA, to discuss this very issue. And welcome to Get the Facts, Dr. Thompson.
Thank you very much, Theodore.
All right. Let's jump right into it. Legally, who is a child?
In Jamaica, a child is any person under the age of 18.
Under 18.
Right.
All right. So from where you sit at the CPFSA, what are the biggest risks typically faced during the summer months by any person under 18?
Of course, the children are not in school,
Right.
mainly during the summer. And of course, there are some of them who are in camps or summer school.
Right.
But I want to say the majority of children are not in any program.
So they're at
Especially,
home.
right, they're at home. Some of them may be on summer holidays with grandparents and so on. But they face the same kinds of issues. Many times the children are not as supervised as when they are in a structured school environment. So they go outside and they play and they fall out of the trees and they break limbs.
That happened to
so
me,
on. Right, right. So during the summer months, children are, I want to say, a little bit more at risk for being harmed, for being hurt. Of course, there are the children who are left at home by themselves because the parents have to go to work.
Right.
And that actually happens quite often. So the parents are not there, the children are at home. Sometimes the older children are taking care of the younger children. And then when that happens, anything can happen.
Yeah.
So we find situations with children who are drinking, bleach or substances that they shouldn't drink. Children attempting to cook and have accidents. Various kinds of scenarios.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And you mentioned being unattended, and it's a part of our culture.
Right.
We see it happen all the time. But is there an age in that under 18 where it might not be so bad?
So as I said, if you're under 18, you're a child.
Right.
And all children are to be supervised. So Section 9 of the Child Care and Protection Act speaks to, the abuse, neglect, or the lack of supervision of a child, right? So if something should happen when a person under 18 is left unsupervised, then it could be that the parent could be charged for neglect. Now, of course, in our culture, once the children are old enough and, let's say, responsible enough,
Right.
we take the risk of leaving them by themselves.
Risk.
Yes. So that's what I want to say. It is a risk that the parent is taking.
Okay.
And we have seen instances where children have been left at home, and then there's a fire, and then there's no adults to respond. That's a risk that the parents would have taken, whether to go to work or to go to a party or whatever it is. They would have left the children by themselves, and then children end up dying.
Right.
Right. So, and we have seen many cases like that over the past, even recent months, where children have been injured or hurt because they've been left unattended. And, very recently, we had one child who was left at home with an older sibling. And then that older sibling fell asleep. And when the sibling woke up, the child was nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
Right? So we have situations like those.
Okay. All right. So, well, the children are on summer
Right.
vacation. You mentioned the parents aren't.
Right.
Still going to work.
Right.
What are the options here? We can't leave them alone based on the law.
Right.
What are the options?
So it's good if you can, one, find a trusted adult who can take care of a child. So you're going to either leave the child with a neighbor. And when I say with a neighbor, I don't mean in your house with the neighbor next door watching.
Okay.
You can leave the child with the
Glad you
neighbor.
clarified,
Right.
yes.
Leave the child with the neighbor, with another family member. If you can enroll the child in a summer school, a summer camp program, then do that. What you want is for the child to be supervised, right?
When you say supervised, I'm getting the sort of subtext that you mean there should also be some sort of structure. Isn't summertime like free
time?
Go wild.
Well, of course,
Let me loose.
there can be some free time,
Right.
but children thrive better when there is structure.
Okay.
So there's someone who is going to ensure that the child, catches up on some reading. Of course, there's time to play, there's time to watch a little TV, but there is some kind of activity that is also building the child. Right? So I encourage parents all the time, if you can set a timetable for your child. So, between 9 and 10, you do some reading, catch up on some math, whatever it is. Then between 10 and 12, you watch a movie. At 12, you take a break, you have some lunch, whatever it is. Just set a structure for the child. And you find that summer school programs, summer camps tend to have that kind of structure. So if you can get the child into a program like that, that's even better.
And I'm glad you brought that up, because parents might sometimes feel a little bit pressured and pressed, like, okay, no, I have to find a summer camp program. And so you're saying, look for the ones with structure, the ones that can lay out a timetable, tell you that here's how the child will be
engaged. Yes.
Good for them developmentally.
Yes.
All right. I want to talk about the whole idea of online.
Right.
Because, when we have summer, and you're talking about being in trees and falling out of trees and whatnot, but nowadays, everybody has a tablet.
Yes.
Everybody has a computer, and maybe we're not in trees so much anymore. But we're going to leave that one for right after the break, so please don't go anywhere. This discussion will continue after this important message.
Living in a systematic adjudication area, it's time to secure what's yours. The National Land Agency is distributing titles under its systematic land registration program. Persons in St. Elizabeth and Manchester, visit the Junction Guest House in St. Elizabeth to collect your title. In St. Catherine, we're coming to you house to house. To collect your title, bring your government-issued photo ID. If someone is collecting on your behalf, they should bring a JP certified letter and their government-issued photo ID. For more information, call 876-750-5263 or visit nla.gov.jm. One agency, one goal, committed to serve you better.
Welcome back. We're continuing our conversation on child protection and summer safety with Dr. Warren Thompson, Director of Children and Family Programs at the CPFSA. Doc, let's pick up where we left off. You worry about people coming into your yard, you worry about who's watching the child, you worry about them falling out a tree, burning down the house.
Right.
But do you find parents worry about the tablet and unrestricted internet?
Not too much. In fact, many parents are allowing the tablets, the devices in general, to raise the children.
Because that can keep them for hours
right.
and so win-win, right?
Not really. Because very often, so the tablet, the device opens up the world to the child.
Right.
And opens up the child to the world.
That's it.
So there are many persons who don't mean well, who are able to interact with their child. In fact, I have young children, so I can tell you, Roblox. There are many children who are playing Roblox games.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't know what I'm talking about?
No, I know. I just had to go dig it up in my head.
Right. But Roblox exposes them to a whole world with people doing all kinds of things. There are different kinds of games for adults. And sometimes because they look like cartoon figures, the parents will think that it's okay.
Right.
But you have to be very careful about what your children are being exposed to. Because very often, even in Roblox, they're exposed to adult content.
Right. And in that one, I believe there is a thing, like they have a message forum where
they can talk, yes. So anybody around the world can talk to your child. It can be a 50-year-old man somewhere talking to your child, telling your child to do things.
Very low guardrails.
Right? Yeah. So you have to be careful about what they're doing on the devices. We have stories here about children who have met persons online and have traveled to meet with them and all kinds of things. It happens. Even in Jamaica, many persons don't think so, but it happens here. So you have to be very careful about what the children are doing online. And sometimes it starts with a conversation. What does online safety look like? What is appropriate? What is inappropriate? And we encourage parents sometimes to enter into contracts with their children. So you can look online, you can find online safety contracts. Safekids.com is one website that offers one.
Right.
And you have the discussion and have your children sign it, and you sign it as well. But then there are other things that you can use. So for example, the Google Family Link if you're using, like Android devices.
Right.
I'm not sure if Apple has, uses it as well. But
they have child protection.
Okay. But the Google Family Link is good because the parent's device, the phone, is connected to the tablets. You can see which apps the children are using, how long they're on for. You can set, I use it for my children, so I actually set it to shut off at 9 p.m. during the summer. So if they're using the tablet and it should be bedtime and 9 p.m. comes, the tablet shuts down.
It's done.
And then it reopens again at 7 a.m. the next morning. So, you can use the technology to monitor what the children are doing and to control it.
So, and Doc, if we can add one thing here, do you spend time actually consuming some of that content to the children? See what it's about?
I do.
You do?
I do. And so my children, they're interested in Roblox. So sometimes they'll watch YouTube videos with other people playing Roblox games, right? Yeah. So when they're doing that, I look at it too. And I can tell you, I don't really fully understand what they like about Roblox.
Right.
But I look at it. And, we had a relative that came over that was using, playing Roblox and so on. So I went and I started to look around and see how I can play it too and so on. I say, all right, I don't want my kids to play this.
You know what it's about firsthand.
And it's important because we allow the devices to raise the children, but spend time with them. Yeah. And let them tell you why they like it. Try to play it as well and then tell them why you think that they shouldn't or why they should.
And this is quality time in the summer.
Yes.
So not just working and everybody else is taking care of the kids.
Yes.
But Doc, if you suspect that a child is being neglected or abused, is there a way to report that?
Right. Well, let me start by saying that all Jamaicans have a duty to report by law. So there's a mandatory reporting framework here in Jamaica, and persons can be charged for failure to report child abuse.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
There's a penalty for that.
Okay.
Maybe I should tell you. So it's $500,000 or 6 months in prison or both. If it is shown that you are aware that a child was being abused or neglected and you did not report it.
Okay.
Right.
So hurry up and tell us how, please.
So it's easy.
Yes.
You can report by calling 211. It's toll-free, 24 hours, 211. And someone is on the other side of the line rather, to respond to your call and to take your report. Of course, you can walk into any CPFSA parish office and make a report, or you can send us a WhatsApp message at 878-2882, and somebody will respond to get that report.
Can you do it anonymously? Some people don't want to.
So, you can report anonymously. We're not forcing you to give us your information, but we prefer when you do it. We prefer when you give us information so that if we need more information to find a child, we can reach out to you again to say, hey, we attempted to locate this child. There was something off with the directions to the house, something off with the address, and we need some more information.
Right. But CPFSA, of course, would be saying, hey, listen, what you tell us and what you reveal about yourself would be confidential.
It is confidential, yes. We are required by law to keep it confidential.
Got it. Now, you're using law Latin, and I like that, Doc. There is a legal framework for the protection of our children.
Yes.
Finally, what resources does the CPFSA provide to parents and guardians in the raising and the protection of children?
All right, so first, information. There are many parents who, they don't know how, right? So for example, we tell them, don't beat the children, but they don't know what the alternative is.
Right.
So we're here to provide information. Once you need some advice, some support, reach out to us, and we're there to give it to you. So we do from time to time, parenting workshops. We do behavior modification programs for children. We actually have a unit that is aimed at supporting families to prevent the likelihood that we may need to remove that child from the family, right? So once a family is in need of support, sometimes it means referring them to services. They may need to get on the PATH program, they may need access to other types of support. We're there to help them to find it and to get it. Right. So I'll start by saying that's how we'll help in the first instance. Of course, where removal is required, then we do more in-depth case management towards reuniting the child with the family at some point.
Got it, got it. So it's an open door at CPFSA, and you are here to help.
Yes, pretty much.
You are here to help.
You know, before we go, I want to tell you about, you know, something new that we're doing. Of
Right.
course, you know, we also manage the Missing Children's Intervention.
Right.
So
yes.
recently we've started to broadcast the missing children alerts on some big digital screens. You know, I've seen it in Halfway Tree.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Right? You've seen it, very
Yes.
good. And also in the tax offices and other areas where people, you know, there's high traffic. So that's a partnership that we have with Visual Vibe and with Intelligent Media Limited. So we are always looking for opportunities to ensure that the children stay home, and when they leave, to bring them home.
Wonderful, wonderful. That's all the time we have for today. With us has been Dr. Warren A. Thompson, Director of Children and Family Programs at the Child Protection and Family Services Agency. Thank you for your time today, and thanks to your viewers who are always watching, always participating, and always getting the facts. Remember, a safe summer begins with informed decisions. I'm Theodore Henry, reminding you that child protection is everyone's responsibility.